We all crave love, understanding, and respect in our relationships. We crave being with someone who truly sees us, understands us, and is emotionally available. And still, so many of us find ourselves stuck in the same pattern, falling for men who are emotionally unavailable. And that story always ends the same way, with you feeling unfulfilled, questioning yourself, and wondering why you keep getting drawn into these situations. So in this episode, let's unpack why this happens. Why are we drawn to emotionally unavailable men or people in general? What's going on beneath the surface? And more importantly, how can we break out of this cycle once and for all? As always, if you enjoy my content, feel free to support it in some way, such as liking, commenting, or subscribing. Your support is so appreciated and really helps for me to continue to create these episodes. If you've been stuck in the cycle of falling for emotionally unavailable men, I'm guessing that going into those situations, you didn't consciously think, oh, perfect, someone who's emotionally unavailable, let me fall for him. That's probably not how it went. And if that is the case, then I'd be worried about you. Instead, I'm guessing what likely happened is that you felt this strong subconscious pull towards the person. And without fully realizing what was driving it, you simply followed it. So figuring out what that weird, almost what feels like a magical pull towards this person really is, would be the first step to breaking free from this cycle. As we've talked about many times on here, so much of how we operate in life comes down to the deep beliefs we hold about ourselves. Whether those stem from childhood, past experiences, or other things, they really shape every aspect of our life, especially the relationships that we invest in. So, what beliefs create this pull towards emotionally unavailable people? One of the main ones is, I need to work hard to be loved. When this belief is ingrained somewhere within you, whether you're aware of it or not, it really easily manifests as an attraction towards emotionally unavailable people. Why? Because they represent the perfect opportunity for you to engage in this exact struggle that you have come to believe is necessary for love. Emotionally unavailable men come with this sense of mystery or a distance, which makes them seem like they're just out of reach, because they are. And in that, you can easily fall into this trap of thinking, if I can just manage to break through to him, if I can be the one he finally opens up to, then that must mean I'm truly special. And it almost becomes like this game in the mind, and winning his attention or affection becomes essentially the ultimate prize. But that's exactly the problem. Because the person is actually emotionally unavailable, you can never truly win the game. No matter what you do, no matter how hard you try, you will never get him to open up to you in the way that you want him to. And then you end up in this addictive cycle where you keep fighting for those small signs of attention or validation. And when you receive them, it feels like a victory because you've worked so hard for them, but they are always short-lived and they never really stick around. And then when you are met with the emotional distance again, it reinforces that exact belief that you are trying to escape. I need to work hard to be loved. So it's not some magical pull connecting you to that person. It's simply them triggering your unhealed beliefs. And that's why sometimes we keep going back to emotionally unavailable people, even when it gets harder and harder to handle, because each entanglement pulls you deeper into this idea that you already have within you, love must be earned through struggle. And the more that belief is triggered inside you, the more you feel drawn to those exact situations, even though that might not actually be what you truly want. Being involved with emotionally unavailable men or people in general can be exhausting and so hard to navigate. But if there's one thing those situations do really well, is that they keep you busy, which, if you think about it, allows you to keep your attention away from yourself. If you are someone who is emotionally available and you are entangled with someone who is emotionally unavailable, you will never truly be able to relax into the safety and trust that you are actually craving in a relationship, because it doesn't exist. Instead, there is always something happening. He's going to be hot and cold. One minute he's going to be super sweet. The next he's pulling away just as you think you're getting closer. And so one minute you're happy, the next you're upset, the next you are fixing a mess that's not yours to fix, and the next you're telling your friends all about what happened. There's always a problem to solve, a reason to feel confused, or a moment to overanalyze something. And the truth is, sometimes you fall into these types of situations because on a deeper level, they serve as a distraction from your own inner world. It becomes easier to be occupied by the chaos of someone else's emotional unavailability than to actually face the parts of yourself that you are avoiding. And it becomes more manageable to be consumed by the ups and downs of someone else than to actually sit with your own thoughts and fears and insecurities, and maybe also your fear of being alone. And even deeper than that, the continuous chaos of these types of dynamics can go as far as creating a false sense of purpose in your life, because you feel like you are working on something as you are always trying to fix things or getting closer to breaking through to him. And if you are feeling a lack of purpose in your own life, that can become that false sense of purpose. But that is not your purpose. You are simply dedicating your energy to fixing someone else's issues. And that's when you need to ask yourself, if all the drama and chaos and pain of being involved with emotionally unavailable people were no longer occupying me, what would I be left with? And you'd be left with you, your own thoughts, your insecurities, your doubts, your loneliness, without the constant distraction of being focused on someone else or trying to fix someone else. You'd be left with yourself. And that can be terrifying because it would force you to face all the things that you've been pushing down or neglecting with the excuse of focusing on someone else. Because when you are continuously focused on someone else's behavior or journey, it leaves no space for you to look at the parts of yourself that you need to confront and the parts of yourself that actually need healing. Also, on the screen now, you will find a summary of everything we talked about today. Feel free to screenshot it to refer back to it at any time you like. Thank you so much for watching, and I'm so looking forward to connecting with you in my next episode.